So that movie essentially was a story basically about true love, yeah.
There were so many things.
Yeah, and there were so many things, so much realism behind this movie. It's actually ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous when it comes to the fact that Big Yogi, we thought something else was
Yeah.
wrong with him. Yeah, something else was happening with him, but we found out that basically he was getting bullied. And it's what we were saying before. Bullying now goes from into the real world into the cyber world, and that is the worst feeling because you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. And then when family members do it to you as well, so then you get bullied all the time. You get like it, and then family members do it to you, and then you know what I mean. Like you're just getting it non-stop, non-freaking stop. It gets to a point where some people just want to neck themselves, yeah. And you got that inside of this. You got some realism where we've heard a lot of stories and we've seen a lot of things happen where people have had sort of videos like that go out or something happen to them in a certain way and then they go, you know what I mean, they go commit suicide. And I thought, and Tanya thought, we both thought that that's what was going to happen. And I think the director did that on purpose.
Yeah.
They had that, you know what I mean? They had that in there because there's some realism behind it, yeah? You get that sense of, you know what happens in the real world.
It was like this could have ended this way.
Yep.
But we're going to be nice and we're going to make it in a different way. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
No, exactly.
not going to traumatize you for the rest of your life, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what a movie! I mean, I loved every bit of it. It had everything.
Yeah.
Like it started as a comedy, basically, where there's so much truth behind it. Everything, like all those things. How many couples do you know that they look like they're the happiest?
A lot.
And then you know that one of them is actually cheating on the other.
A lot.
And you think,
And we know personally.
just look at his phone and you will find out everything, yeah?
Or her phone.
Or her phone. But they don't.
No.
Because they trust the other person and they don't look in their phones. But you know that their phones have all the evidence that they need.
Yep.
And they don't. And they just live happily thinking, oh, I'm in love and she's in love with me. And you're thinking, you're an idiot. You're the biggest idiot I've ever met in my life. But I can say anything because it's not my thing to tell.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
that's what I was about to say. A lot
It's
of
not
the
my thing to
times,
tell.
especially when it's friends or family members, you've got to keep your mouth shut because the thing is, it's their mistake to make.
It's not your secret to tell.
Nah.
That's something that
it's
I'm very cautious about.
Yeah.
I only
You just
speak-
distance yourself from it, though.
yeah
Because once you
distance-
get yourself in that situation and you know, then it starts affecting you mentally.
yeah,
And that's horrible when you don't distance yourself from it and you know what's going on, yeah?
it's the best you can do
Yeah.
because like I don't want to be part of this. I'm going away. I'm getting away from here. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say it because I mean, it's not my job. You know what I mean?
Because then you end up looking like the bad person and that person that's done the wrong thing gets
Yeah.
away with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Then they
Happens all the
they make
time.
up and they go back together, and you are the one that try to separate them or get
Yeah.
a big win in their relationship. You know what I mean? It's like stuff it.
Yeah, you
So-
don't want to be in those
No.
situations at all.
But like, what I was saying, from it started as a comedy where like couples and their phones and things like that, but then it covers so many subjects going from like bullying and cyber how is it called bullying,
Cyberbullying.
cyberbullying
Cyberbullying.
cyberbullying, all it went through all that. So, and they did it in a way where like graphically it was unbelievable how good it was, because they showed you like the different social medias and that time where he was sitting on the toilet and you could see like
that
in a
was
3D
cool.
like he was going
It was like
in
a
time.
3D effect of all the conversations he was having. Yeah.
That was amazing. And Yeah, I mean, and the end message from the movie is you have to have faith in your partner. If you really love that person, you have
Yeah, exactly.
to have faith on him or
Exactly.
her. That's it.
And
And
it has to work both ways, guys, both ways. And if you love someone truly, then you have the utmost belief in them and you stick by their side no matter what. And that's what this is all about. That's what true love is all about. And I've said this from the beginning, like when it comes to true love, when it comes to love, you can't fall out of love with someone. It's impossible because love is something that can grow and love is something that will never disappear. So when people go through these sort of breakups because of things that happen, what you got to realize is that the reason why they're no longer together, the reason why they split up, or the reason why you split up is that you truly don't love each other. And that's the facts that people have to face. That's the facts. Because no matter what, if you love someone truly, you do anything for each other and work things out. Yeah, you do so much for each other and you trust each other and you have faith in each other and you're loyal to each other. That's what love is all about. Loyalty is such a huge role when it comes to love. And
Well,
people
I
don't
think-
realize this.
I think one of the main problems is people don't have the patience.
He cheated on me. She cheated on me. Oh, you know what? People make mistakes. We get back together. Yada, yada, yada. It is what it is. You make your own bed. Yeah. That's when you don't get involved in others' lives. You let them make their own mistakes. Yeah?
Exactly. Yeah.
But the thing is about love is that true love is something that will never disappear from upon someone. So when I hear people say, "Oh, we fell out in love with each other," that's a load of shit. It's always a load of shit because, like this movie shows you, love runs deep and it will never fall. See, some people get love and really, really liking someone they convince themselves it's the same thing, but it's not.
yeah.
It absolutely is not the same thing.
It's
People think it is, but
something
it's not.
something I think it's a bit like, just say it funny, is boys usually, a lot of you talk to like teenagers and they say, oh, you ask them, oh, why do you like this girl? And they say, because she has big boobs. And you're like, okay, you don't really you feel attracted to her,
Correct.
but you don't love her. Yeah, but like a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend, they're going out and you say, oh, why do you like her? Because she has big boobs, because she's sexy, because she has a nice body.
Yeah,
That's not love.
yeah,
And then you ask a girl, why do you love him? Same reason, because he's sexy, blah blah blah, or because the one of the two is in a low moment emotionally, and then the other person like goes in there and starts like comforting them, and
and they think that's love
mix
as well.
they mix the comforting and all
Yeah.
that stuff with love.
They mix compassionate with
Love.
love.
Yeah, and they are the two things usually that you confuse with love, and then you realize when you're older that means nothing. Being with someone that's attractive is not going to give you happiness, because I mean, if he's super handsome but he's a shitty person, that's not going to last forever. He's going to age in 50, 60 years. He's going to be old, wrinkled.
Well, I mean, he can
wrinkly
be a
and-
shitty person, but if he's a shitty person to you, it's not going to last long.
No.
But if he's a shitty person, but to you, he treats you like you're the most amazing, like you're literally a queen or a princess, then that's a different
Yeah,
story.
of
You
course.
know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
because he loves you.
Yeah.
And vice versa, she loves you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, that's true.
that's why some people, when they get in relationships with others and that, and others say, "Oh, how's that person with that person? That person's such a fucking wanker or a prick." Yeah, to you maybe, but to that person they're in a relationship with, maybe they're the one. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
maybe.
So it's like,
Or maybe that person is with him because
For other reasons, yeah.
exactly.
you just never know. But that's other people's mistakes to find
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Of course,
You can
can't.
just give them tips and everything like that and try to help them with advice, but it's people's mistakes.
Yeah.
And this movie's evident. Yeah, it's absolutely evident is that there's always consequences for everything you do. There's always a consequence. The consequence for that guy creating that video just to make himself feel powerful and special,
Yeah.
and lying about having sex with Nikita,
Mm.
him lying about that has made him, has put him behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
That was his consequence.
Yeah. But
You
not
know
just
what I
that, he
mean?
was harassing them all the time. It was him.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
But also, your actions can turn out to be something down the future, down the line. It can turn out to be a blessing.
mm,
Because also Pradeep and Nikita, the fact that these two at the beginning were like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? Like, no, we don't want to swap phones. And then they end up swapping phones. And he's like, oh, damn it, we're just going to find out, going to find out. In the end, it made their love, it made their bond tighter.
mm-hmm.
It made their love stronger.
Yeah. Because that it's like with the tree.
Exactly.
It's not going to grow. It's not going
Time.
to grow if you keep taking the seed out of
but
the.
I've said this so many times.
ground
People
every
don't
day.
believe that. When I say love grows but doesn't diminish, that's what I mean. Love does grow. You can have no love for someone and it can develop. And then, like, you know what I mean? It can grow. It can grow. It can grow. But it would never go like this. Love only goes one way. That's it. You know what I mean?
If
There
you-
may be a point where love stays here,
Well,
but it will never go like this. It will never see.
yeah.
So, and I think that's
yeah.
why 40% of the population ends up in divorces and.
I
splitting
I
up.
would say more than that these days.
These days, it's probably like, I don't know the stats now. It's probably like 60%.
It's crazy. Almost like everyone I know is getting divorced. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Anyway, yeah. So all that with what we were talking about, how easy it is to go online and write a comment and hurt others without
Yeah.
thinking about the other person's feelings. Yeah, I don't really understand why those people do those things.
Makes
Like,
themselves feel better.
but why does it make you feel better to talk bad about another person, like laughing at all the people? How does that make you feel better? I mean, it would make me feel like crap. I don't understand.
It's called temporary relief.
Temporary relief. Well, you want
In their-
temporary
in their
relief.
mental state,
Put your hand on the table, get a hammer, smash your hand. You'll cry, and then you'll get temporary relief as well.
There you go.
See, that's another way.
That's another
I mean,
way to do it.
that-
Quite brutal, but that's another way
that's
to do it.
exactly what you do to someone else, not physically, but mentally. Every time that you write a negative comment, it's like you are hitting someone with a hammer.
Mm.
That's how it is.
Can we talk about
And that's why I left the channel a while ago. That's why I left.
all right, let's not talk about that.
And because of that, because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
people's negativity, I can't stand people talking
All right,
bad.
all right, well, let's drop that.
Why?
Pradeep and Nikita, because we've been through it a lot of times about that in the other videos.
Okay.
Pradeep and Nikita, can we just go through of how amazing they were in this performance?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, not
their
just them,
chemistry
all of
was
them, yeah.
incredible. Their chemistry was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nikita, she cried a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and her crying was believable. There's a lot of people, when they cry in movies, you're like, oh, really? Like, that's a forced cry, yeah? Like, the tear comes out from the right side. But her eyes would go red.
Mm.
Like, you know when you cry and your eyes are red?
Huh?
Like, bloodshot red? Her eyes went full red, and the tears came from here.
Yeah.
Not from here, yeah? And that's when you know you're watching someone who is magnificent at their job, yeah?
I've
And
never
Pradeep as
understood
well.
how can tears fall from here. I've never
That's
understood that.
that's fake tears. When tears come out here, they're fake.
But how can you cry? I've never cried. My
Yeah, you'll see sometimes actors can get their tears to come out the sides of their eyes instead of the corners.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But that's
because
not
they're fake tears.
it's not natural. Wow.
Yeah, they're fake tears. And Pradeep as well, right? This is I think this is the first movie we've watched Pradeep in, and
Mm-hmm.
he was sensational. Like, the way he was able to change character, the transformation between the calm, composed, the nervous character, the cool character, and then the angry character because of the way that Nikita's friend was, to back to being himself crying in the hands of his own mum, showing that a boy is also vulnerable as well. But inside of mum's arms, right next to mum, any boy's vulnerable. Right? So him enabling himself to do that throughout the film is someone who, once again, is at the top of their game when it comes to their profession. And I have such respect for people that are good at what they do. So for me personally, I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10. For that very reason right there. I've given it so many points for the storyline, so many points for the believability and the realism behind it. And why is it real? Why does it feel real? Because of Pradeep, because of Nikita, and Big Yogi. Yogi as well. His story was magnificent. How many times have you heard about kids that are fat that get bullied online all the time?
Fat, ugly.
And then actors and actresses, imagine the bullshit they deal with. Yeah. So if you think that you're dealing with shit, imagine what actors deal with. The bullshit that they deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I'm giving this a 9 out of 10, because it was just, for me, it was so real.
Yeah. I really like the story between, because it was also talking about friendship. How he dubbed his friends and he told them, leave me, go away, they're no longer my friends and things like that.
Yeah.
And he was wrong. And he actually, the friend that he was suspecting was the harasser. He actually came back to him and hugged him, and there were real tears. Yeah, he was actually hurt.
Yeah.
So it was. There were so many subjects here.
It shows you though. It shows you though, just that maybe we've had the wrong friends our whole life.
Maybe
you probably only have one friend that would do something like that. Exactly.
You probably have only one friend.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. I didn't mean to be mean like that, but there you go. So
I'm gonna go cry in the corner now.
There you go, guys. Hopefully you like our review. Hopefully you love this movie. Hopefully you guys loved watching it with us over on Patreon. I know Patreon gets this a lot before YouTube, guys. Trust me. YouTube get this a while after Patreon does, and Patreon gets it in full. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed that. Check the link down in the description down below, guys, for movies and TV series every single day. Peace out. We're going to head out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Bye.